Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the next edition of Centerville Business Today. I'm here today with Dr. Christopher Sesslar, who is the medical director at Medicca, which is, I'm going to have him talk about his business, but it says the science of youth. This is a very interesting business. We've had an opportunity to tour the facilities, and you'll see some of those later on today. But Doctor, very good to see you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Well, tell us about your business.
Medicca is a local med spa here in Centerville. We opened the facility up about 5 years ago, and during that time, we've become one of the leading med spas in the entire Dayton, Cincinnati, and Columbus market. Our focus is on you, and that's why it's the science of youth. We want to make you look and feel good. We want to make you look younger. We want to make you feel good about yourself, because studies have shown that if you feel good about yourself, you're going to live longer, you're going to be healthier, and you're going to be more productive. So our center is all revolving around non-surgical techniques in order to make you look younger. And most of those procedures are centered around Botox, fillers, and laser procedures. We also offer a lot of skincare. Different lines, particularly Skin Medicca, which is a good line to help stimulate collagen growth. We have mineral makeup to use a natural makeup so it doesn't clog your pores or anything like that. We offer a lot of other services with our esthetician, anywhere from dermaplaning to chemical peels to kind of help exfoliate and make your skin look better.
Well, now you talked about Botox, and I think I know what that is. Maybe you should, instead of me trying to explain it, why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Botox is probably the most common non-surgical procedure we do these days. Botox is an agent that we inject into the skin, and it helps freeze up muscles. So typically when people get Botox, they're treating forehead lines in between the eye, and crow's feet. Those are the most common areas we treat. They're called active lines, meaning that when you make an expression, you make a wrinkle. We want to kind of not allow the muscle to contract so that you don't get a wrinkle.
So it just makes you look younger.
Makes you look younger. Basically, if you think of the skin as a piece of paper, if you keep it nice and flat all the time, it'll be in clean shape. But if you keep folding it, you'll get a crease in it and a line. And that's what happens with repetitive use of your muscles, as you get lines that are etched in different areas. So it kind of just helps relax the muscle so that you don't contract the skin. And over time, if you stay consistent with your Botox, your skin will be nice and smooth.
Well, now you also talked about fillers. Now what is a filler?
A filler is more for static lines. Static lines meaning if you were to look at your face at rest, if you were to see volume depletion or a line or a wrinkle, most commonly in here or here. Some people have volume depletion under their eyes or in their cheeks or in their jowl area. We can fill that in with a product. We most commonly use Juvederm. And basically we're just filling in the little voids in the skin, whether it's a volume or a wrinkle or whatever. And it usually lasts up to a year.
Wow.
Not much downtime. People could have potentially a few bruises the next day, but most people don't. And it pretty much gives you an instant result.
Well, now I know when we were doing the tour earlier, you've got a series of laser equipment. Now how does that fit into the practice?
Lasers are just another way to attack aging. We have a variety of lasers. My favorite one is BBL. BBL stands for broadband light. And basically we're exposing the skin to this broad band of light to treat various conditions, most commonly pigment. So people have a lot of pigment from sun damage, or if they have a lot of broken capillaries, that will treat that. And they've done a lot of studies with that particular laser over the last year, particularly at Stanford. And they have shown that that light therapy actually turns on anti-aging genes. And what that means is if we were to look at skin of a 20-year-old and look how DNA is expressed, those genes get turned off as you get older. So when you get in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, all of those genes that are active when you're 20 get turned off. They have done studies at Stanford last year to show that if you get at least a couple of these treatments a year, those anti-aging genes are turned back on with the light therapy. And so it is the only anti-aging treatment out there that actually reverses aging. It's an amazing procedure.
Well, that's the science of that's incredible.
It is very incredible. They've done another study where they took a before picture of somebody and allowed them to go through 2 treatments per year for 10 years. And they did a controlled study where they compared before pictures to people's pictures 10 years later. And the age 10 years later was picked younger than the before picture. So they have a lot of science behind it. It is a great procedure because it's very affordable. They're only $295 per treatment, and there's no downtime. People don't want downtime, and so it's a great procedure to work in a couple times a year. We initially recommend a series of 6 just to clean up the skin, but after that, if people get a couple a year, their skin remains young, healthy, and it gives them that clean, young-looking skin again.
Well, it's incredible because, of course, you know, I'm of the age where you never even thought about anything like
Sure.
this. But I know we talked earlier. You said a fair number of your clients are actually men. It's not just women coming in.
That's always been the untapped market, but every year the practice grows with men. You know, everybody wants to look good, feel young, and I think as time goes on, it's more socially acceptable now. And more men are always coming in, whether they're doing Botox or fillers or laser procedures. They're doing a little bit of everything.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, you've been in business here for 5 years, as I understand.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you've got in the building. Well, I don't think we've talked about the address.
Right.
Where are you at?
We're at 6627 Centerville Business Parkway. We're right off of Clio Road, across from the fire department, between Bigger and Alex Bell.
When I know you're, and I know the audience will be seeing parts of your facility
Yes.
as we go, but you've got an amazing place here.
We do. We were very excited. We were located in Kettering 6 years ago, and I purchased this lot and built the complex about 6 years ago. And during that process, we brought a lot of tenants with us. We brought a LabCorp in. We brought the Dayton Heart physicians to the building. And most recently, we brought Dunnington Chiropractic to the building.
Oh, that's amazing. So you've got actually a fair collection of other kind of not semi-related entities here to provide services.
Yeah,
as well.
it's all medical. It's a great fit. I think everybody uses each other's services back and forth. It's been a good thing.
Wow, that's great. We're very happy, obviously, that you're here in Centerville. Well, tell me more about where you see the business going in the years to come.
This continued growth. This is an explosion. You know, being a top provider, I mean, you get a name and it just creates more of a flood. Everybody's in Botox. It's not just one population, it's everybody. Everybody from 20 up to 80. I mean, I've had 90-year-olds come in, believe it or not.
I do it well. I understand
And
that.
they want to look good too.
Sure,
Everybody wants to look a little younger. So this has become more socially acceptable these days. Maybe 10 years ago it was something you didn't talk about, but now it is. And there's a lot of things we can do today that you couldn't do 10 years ago. A lot of procedures that we do that have no downtime, and they're affordable.
Well, that's the part that I think is so amazing because it's clear from talking to you that there are a lot of things you can do that, again, don't take a lot of time, but everyone does want to look younger and
Sure.
look healthier and all of that. So it makes a lot of sense, whereas maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, either the procedures weren't there or the technology wasn't there, and it was just a lot more difficult to do that. Well, now, I know you talked earlier when we were touring about sun damage and how you can deal with things like that. I mean, I grew up on a farm and was outside all the time when I was a kid. What kind of techniques can you have that can maybe deal with that to kind of reduce or deal with the sun damage that a lot of people have on their skin?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things we offer here to deal with sun damage. The most common one is BBL, the one treatment that I did talk about. That kind of helps clear up the pigment in the skin, the redness, and kind of gives that youthful appearance, turns on those anti-aging genes. That's probably the biggest thing we can do. We carry some great sunscreens that are medical grade, that provide a high quality of shielding of the sun. That's the most important thing to do.
I did see you had a great product line of skincare products. I guess is the best terminology to use.
Yes, we have a lot of different skincare products. Most commonly, the big core of those are Skin Medicca. And Medicca has a lot of science behind their products. They have the most common thing that they have in their product line are growth factors, human growth factors. And those growth factors stimulate collagen. And there's all sorts of other things in the line, from vitamin C to help stimulate collagen production, to retinols and retin-A's, to hyaluronic acid. There's a whole slew of things that we use to treat skin and make it look young and healthy. Going back to sun damage, though, it depends on your age too. Some people may be younger, some people may be older, and they may have a lot of sun damage that's created a lot of collagen loss and created a lot of wrinkles. And then when we get into somebody like that, we start going into our resurfacing laser. And again, Cyton is the leader with resurfacing. We have an erbium laser. There is downtime with that procedure, but we can turn back the clock. And we can actually do light laser peels with the laser, or we can do fractional resurfacing, where we drill little holes down into the dermis and ablate the tissue and allow it to grow back. And it's amazing to see somebody that's had an ablative procedure like that and see the change in the skin over a 6-month period and see those lines go away. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible to think that you can actually reverse the aging process of the
Yes.
skin. We had talked earlier, and I was intrigued by this, that you actually do tattoo removal as well.
We do.
What's that all about? I've heard a little bit about that.
Tattoos, you know, everybody gets one and they're like, should I have really gotten that? And, you know, I would say by far the most common thing we remove with tattoos are names.
Okay.
And people always get their names tattooed on their hands, all their chest, everywhere. So we're removing a lot of names around here.
You better be sure before you put someone's name on your body. But well, and I understand that process, it does work though, right? You can actually get the tattoos removed?
Yeah, it takes a while. It takes usually 6 to 10 treatments. They're usually 6 weeks apart. It takes a lot of time, but you can get a tattoo removed.
Well, now, if someone was interested in coming in, how do you start the process? Do you talk to them? You kind of take them through what, not the tattoos necessarily, but any of your services?
Anytime somebody comes in, we want to do a consultation with them and figure out what are your issues, what do you want to improve, and we focus on those. So we usually come in and we usually talk about an hour, hour and a half, and we go through a process where we ask the client what specifically bothers them. We have a Visia camera system where it analyzes the skin, and we'll give a printout, something like this, that will show you all of your spots, redness, wrinkles, and then we'll look at your skin under a microscope. And then after that, we'll decide on a treatment plan. We'll put together a plan for you. What do you need? Do you need Botox? Do you need Juvederm? Do you need laser procedures? Do you just need skin care? And we'll go through a process of like, this is what you need. And that's kind of it in a nutshell.
When the consultation is no cost?
There is no cost. All the consultations are free.
Well, that's wonderful. Doctor, are there any other laser type services that you offer?
Yeah, we offer laser hair removal and skin tightening. Laser hair, we're basically putting somebody through a series of treatments to reduce the amount of hair they have on any body part. Skin tightening is a relatively new procedure we do, which has no downtime, to tighten the skin. Most commonly, people are getting it in their face, neck, and abdomen. So anywhere somebody has loose skin, we can tighten that up with the laser. And basically by heating the skin up with some infrared heat, very comfortable. It's one of the most comfortable skin tightening procedures on the market.
Oh, that's very interesting. So totally non-surgical, but it's just using the laser to reduce the...
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Non-surgical and no downtime.
Okay, great. Well, Doctor, I am so grateful that you took your time today to talk to us. You have a fascinating business here and offering a really great set of products I think a lot of people could take advantage of. Great services. So
I appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much. That'll do it for this edition of Centerville Business Today. Take care.